Thank you, Mr. Chair and members of the committee. I wanted to mention a few things that haven't been brought out before. First of all, the net neutrality, taking away net neutrality is, among other things, a threat to small businesses because bigger companies can use their market power, as some of the speakers have warned. I just want to mention that it's been claimed, even though it's been claimed that the FTC will protect people from, will protect small businesses in this respect, the FTC actually is not very good at that. They do not have. All they can do actually is when they do take action, which is not very often, but when all they can do is take action when there exists a direct, when there exists a sufficiently direct violation efforts by one company to shut out another. The problem is that when you have, when, for example, company A pays an internet service provider for faster service, even though, if big company A pays an internet service provider to make sure that the internet provider gives company A's content a faster connection down your cable line or your fiber line to your home, that may disadvantage small company B, but the FTC is not likely to take action in that case. And the bills before you do apply that case, even though company A is not acting directly against company B, company A is just making a deal for an internet service provider, these bills are designed to deal with that case, which the FTC does not usually deal with. I know some internet service providers claim they've made commitments to customers, but again, the FTC does not enforce those things strongly enough. For example, if a cable company, if the phone company or a cable company says they are going to treat customers on a certain plan according to one or two principles of net neutrality, they may then stop offering that plan, offer a different plan to customers which does not obey net neutrality, and as soon as your contract with, say, your phone company expires under the old plan, you are no longer going to be able to take advantage of the promises that were made under the old plan. And the FTC will do nothing at all about that. So the FTC is not very good at enforcing anything except the most direct violations of terms of service agreements. I will say also that there's a lost my place. Okay, yes. A lot of people are concerned about the increasing power of companies over the internet, and we've seen that recently. It seems like almost every other week we get a scandal with Facebook, issues related to the election, how Facebook or other companies abuse their power, and the public has responded to that. The public is aware that there's a problem here, and I know it was mentioned already that in a poll that came out in December, 83% of registered voters supported net neutrality. But what you didn't hear is that 83% poll came after hearing arguments on both sides. The voters were given a one-paragraph long argument for and against net neutrality, which was carefully vetted with advocates on both sides. And after they heard those arguments on both sides, still 83% of voters, including 75% of registered Republicans, said they preferred the net neutrality side. So voters are not buying this idea that the FCC has been promoting that says that they're not buying the FCC's idea that rescinding net neutrality rules will somehow provide better service to the consumers. They've heard that argument, and when they hear it, they don't believe it. I do realize that companies have done a lot of good things with the internet, but what usually happens with new technologies is there's a very innovative period at the beginning, which lasts for maybe 10 or 20 years, and then the sector basically slows down its innovation and starts stagnating. We saw that with telephones. Telephones were very innovative at first, and then there was this very stagnant period with Ma Bell, the old AT&T, that only ended when there was government intervention to break it up. We saw it with railroads in the 19th century when the first railroads were extremely promising. You could just get on these trains and go anywhere you want across the country. And then the railroad companies started abusing their market power, taking advantage of their position by giving rebates to some customers, by making it very difficult for farmers to ship food to the market. And,
I think it's important to only look forward with technology issues like this, because, I mean, even to go back like 3 years, technology has improved and changed so much. I'd rather not look back for guidance on this. Let's look forward.
Thank you. Mr. Chairman, I will accept that, but the only reason I even brought that up was because I noticed a number of the pieces of written testimony voice something that's very common on the industry lobbyist position on this. The industry lobbyists always say, well, if you regulate net neutrality, you're going back to old-fashioned regulations, the kind that were instituted for railroads and for telephones, railroads in the 19th century, telephones in the 1930s. That is in the written testimony here, and in case anybody was tempted by that argument, I want to say that in those cases, the regulation was needed. So as long as we're going to disregard that false argument based on a misreading of the past, that's fine. I just wanted to make sure people were aware of what actually happened in the past. So, sorry, but I haven't got to my main point yet, so let me just get to my main point.
I'm going to have to ask you to really move along. It's been a long night to get people waiting. So.
Okay, sorry.
People waiting to testify on this and other things.
Okay. What the internet people are realizing more and more that what big internet companies do, most of all, is they control the delivery of content and messages and ideas, but they tend to put their consumers in a bubble. They tend to put their consumers into an area where the consumers tend to see only one set of content and not see as much content from conflicting views or from competing products. And of course, there's profit to be made by putting your customers in a bubble. And that is a very dangerous thing if it's allowed to go forth without regulation, because it basically means that these companies have power over the marketplace of ideas, and they have power over what political ideas catch on, and we shouldn't put that much power in private hands. That is the fundamental good government case in favor of net neutrality. And it is more dangerous when an internet company does it than when a company in another sector did it in the past. That's what's driving the inflated investment in some of these big internet companies, is the hope that these companies will end up having a lot of influence over thought, not directly but indirectly by shaping internet traffic, in which internet traffic is easier and harder. Now let me address the legal issues, because some of the key points have not been said yet. They claim that the FCC regulation has preempted state regulation. Actually, in order for the FCC regulation to preempt state laws or state regulation, the FCC would have to act pursuant to its authority and jurisdiction. And in the order that the FCC just put out, that they decided on in December and published a couple of weeks ago, the FCC found they did not even have authority under federal law to regulate the internet. So if they don't have authority under federal law to regulate the internet, then when we pass our laws, we are not trespassing on their area of authority. In fact, Congress has not passed any laws in this area either. So they can't claim that it's preempted when they are not exercising their authority, and when the FCC actually claims on the record that they have no legal authority to do this. And so it's no coincidence that Washington State has already passed a law that's similar, not to the weaker law here, but to the stronger one, the one that actually does require internet companies to follow net neutrality, no matter.
Good questions. Any questions? Thank you.
All right, well, it seems like I've been cut off, but I will provide written testimony if needed. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Randall. Appreciate you doing this.